The great Clint Rice. Here we are at Barnbougle Lost Farm, my man. We're enjoying a beautiful drop of the sponsor's product.
Absolutely.
Lost Farm in its all its splendour in the background. We're about to go out and have a hit on a Bluebird Winter's Day here in Barney.
It's perfect.
We're going all right, aren't we?
Perfect day. You could not get a better day here. No wind, blue sky. It's what you dream of at Barnbougle.
And as a Lonnie local, do you get up here a little bit? Is this would be one of your local tracks? But
yeah, I haven't been up here for a little while. I lived away from Tassie for about 15 years. And I actually came to the opening day. Gee, I reckon the opening day would have been maybe 2003, 2004.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Then played the Pro-Am here, which was, I think, there was like Richard Green and Mike Clayton and a few guys came down for the Pro-Am. Actually won the Pro-Am.
Did you?
4 under. So that was
Oh, there you
kind
go.
of, it was one of the first Pro-Ams I won. I think I was still a trainee pro at the time. But yeah, I've played actual Barnbougle Dunes quite a bit. Haven't played Lost Farm a lot, but yeah, it's a great spot.
Yeah. And you grew up around Launceston, mate? Is that where you
Grew up in
bred and learned the
Launceston.
game?
Yeah, grew up in Launceston, played at Riverside Golf Club, played state golf for... Oh. Stuck.
Sorry.
What's this stuff like? Hang on. That might work. Let's cover up the 14 irons. Does that work?
We'll cut that. That's in the bloopers.
How's that? Raise that a little bit.
That's fine. Yeah, that's sweet. I'll ask that one again. You come up in Launceston, mate, and that's where you learned your junior golf?
I did, yeah. Grew up in Launceston, played golf at Riverside Golf Club, and then played state golf for Tassie for 4 years, and then turned pro. Started a traineeship with the PGA.
Yeah. And was Matty Goggin an inspiration for you being a Tassie boy, or who are you sort of who you look up to? Who do you want to be? I suppose?
Yeah, Matty Goggin was a huge inspiration for me to get started through state golf, and then I guess the motivation to turn pro. I remember back, I won the Tassie Order of Merit, which got you a start in the Australian PGA in 2005. So I reached out to Matty and asked him if it was possible to meet him at the Australian PGA because I knew he was playing it. And the PGA at that point was 6 months down the track, and I thought, oh, it's nice for him to reply, and you'll probably get busy, may never hear of him. Yeah. He said, shoot me through your number. And then 6 months later, it was literally the day before the practice round, I get a text from him the night before and say, hey, you're still good to have a practice round? We're going out tomorrow. And so I went and played practice round with Matty in my first tournament, Aussie PGA, and he was unreal. And even from then on at different tournaments, he took the time to help me out with different things if I was struggling and advice. So yeah, he was great.
So that was the first pro tournament you played in at all? So you didn't play the New South Open or Tassie Open or anything? You just went straight to the...
No, I played some of the state opens as an amateur.
Right,
that was the first Aussie tour event event I played, the Australian PGA at Coolum.
Nice one.
The old Coolum layout.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was huge. I remember standing on the first tee just like so overwhelmed with actually being at a big tournament, and it was so uncomfortable, but it was a great experience.
How'd you go? You made the cut?
I did. I actually made the cut on the number.
Oh,
and then I played the third round with Gowie, and I can't think of else, but that was kind of because Gowie was playing the US Tour at the time.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember playing. I always stir him up now when I see him.
Yeah,
he was losing it. He was strong clubs. Yeah. That'll he was good value. We became mates since then, and I still see Gowie around. But yeah.
Have you had a real, I suppose that'll be your first, I suppose, pinch me moment. Here I am at the PGA. Gowie, I suppose, is a famous person, but have you had another sort of, have you played with Tiger or something like that? Have you had
I haven't played with Tiger. I've played the same tournaments as Tiger, like Aussie Masters. He used to come down for that, a few events. And then even things like when you're in the locker room and Greg Norman comes in. Like, You know, as a kid getting into golf, Norman was in his prime, and to actually be playing the same tournament as Norman, and he turns up and comes in the locker room and, rips his outfit off and into the shower and walks around the locker room like he owns the place, and everyone.
The rumour's true. Or?
Yeah, they certainly are. So that was probably one of the biggest wow moments of you being in the same locker room and playing the same tournament as Norman, being a huge fan of his growing up.
He's got an aura, hasn't he, Greg? And he just,
Yeah.
everyone seems to look at him in the room, and he just walks in and commands attention. Even now,
Yeah.
still, I mean,
Yeah.
170.
Yeah, and he's just the figure too. Like he'd
Yeah.
walk around the locker room with just a towel around him, and he's ripped and six pack, and yeah, he's definitely cuts a figure through the locker room.
What's been your best moment as a pro golfer? Or I suppose your biggest win, or your best round, or your best?
Yeah, there's been a number of different, I guess, milestones or highlights through my time playing on tour. I definitely had one at I went my first travel outside of Australia to play tournament golf, and I went to Canada to try and get on the Canadian tour, and we had Q School in Vancouver. And funny story, the actual course we played Q School at was called Swanee Set Resort, and it's where they play the Waterbury Open, Happy Gilmore's tournament where he won.
That's so funny because we had Cameron Daddo on here
Yeah.
doing this show, and he also mentioned playing on the.
Yeah.
I think it was where the bloke beat up Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, well, he won. That's where he won the tournament to get on the tour.
Right.
In Grandma's house back. So we actually played Q School, and I won Q School. So that got me on the tour and started outside of Australia. So
Yeah, wow.
that was kind of a big stepping stone for me to get outside of Australia, playing Pro-Ams and State Opens and getting into Aussie Opens and playing those, to actually go outside of Australia and play, PGA Tour of Canada, win Q School, to actually go, you know what, I can actually play outside of Australia. Yeah. So that was a big moment. And there were sort of moments, I guess, along the way where you would step up and play. Like, for example, I remember after the PGA at Coolum, went and did the pre-qualifier for the Johnny Walker Classic at the Vines. So the pre-qualifier was at Cottesloe, and I shot there were 4 spots available, so 120 guys for 4 spots. And I shot 4 under, and there was 4 guys for 1 spot. So 3 guys already in, 4 of us tied for that last spot. And it was Michael Wright, Marcus Kane, and I think maybe Scott Laycock or someone. So 3 guys that have been playing the tour for a while. We all birdied the first. Myself and I think it was Michael Wright birdied the second. So the 2 of us left, and then I birdied the third to get in. So it was such. You look at those moments, and it's like there's so much grind to go into. Actually, then you're only into the tournament at that point. And then I shot 5 under in that tournament, and then that was the tournament I first was in the same locker room and the same tournament as Greg Norman, and then got to go up in the commentary box and sit there and talk through some play and different things in the commentary box that afternoon. So it was like, wow, this is the sort of stuff I used to watch on TV, and now I'm actually here. So.
Wow. Because Matty Goggin always used, not always, but I've heard Matty Goggin talk about being a Tassie boy, small enough community, and having real imposter syndrome when he was. He played PGA Tour, and he came second in the Open Championship. Yeah, phenomenal player, and yet still has that sort of, I don't know, ingrained, if you like, sort of small town thing. Not that I don't belong, but I shouldn't be here.
Matt and I definitely had a lot of conversations with Matt about that, because coming from Tassie. Also, I came from a family that didn't play golf. My family are in transport and trucking, and for me to then be trying to get onto a world stage of playing tournament golf just from little Tassie and from a family that's not in golf, it felt so unrealistic, and it's like why I shouldn't be here, and like the imposter syndrome. So we used to talk about that, being from Tassie and the small numbers we have here to actually go and then play tournament golf. So he's always been great motivation to see what you can do. Yeah, nice. But he did great. Like, he played the PGA Tour. I remember watching him final group at the British Open, final group at the Memorial. I think did a lot of tournaments. He was up there doing really well. Yeah. Well, you seem to have broken out of the small town Tassie thing, because here you are, a sort of a celebrity type person. How did maths come? I don't know if I like the C word, but
you got a profile now, certainly, and golf fans know the name Clint Rice and a little bit about you. But now you got a whole other, I suppose, section of Australia knowing a bit about you, or a version of you anyway.
Yeah, I moved through. I had my own business in golf, so I was importing, distributing, and doing online with golf equipment, and then sold that in 2023. Thought I'd have a bit of time off and maybe get back into golf at some sort of capacity. And then in the meantime, Married at First Sight came along. So that has definitely taken me down a path of, I guess it's quite interesting. Years of playing golf and playing tournaments internationally, and then Australian Opens, that sort of thing, compared to being on a national TV show, how much more known you are on a TV show.
Yeah.
That's just all of a sudden it happens so quick. Like, it's not something you train and practice for and go, I'm wanting to get here. It's like all of a sudden you're thrown to this show. Then off the back of it, there is that certain amount of, like, Jackie and I go into the supermarket or go into a shop and people want a photo with us, or
Right.
oh, there's that, you're the two off maths, and can we get a photo? Or my sister loves watching you guys. So that's just so different to what we're used to.
Yeah. And what was it like on the set, on the show, and how much is it? I must admit, I have not watched it, or I've watched it. I know of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, it says
the
like
smart one.
reality TV. But is it sort of? I mean, how much is produced and confected and directed and?
I think there's a lot that, well, everything that you say is obviously your own words to a certain extent. There's
Yeah.
definitely audio grabs that get thrown over the top. So
Right.
having said that, there's definitely a narrative or a character or a storyline that they have for each particular person. So
Yeah.
I was very shocked at some of the audio grabs that were taken. Say, for example, on my wedding day, I got married to Lauren on the show, and just got married, and we're doing a Voxy, which is your one-on-one with your producer, talking about your experience and what's happening. And it's like just got married. I'm like, yeah, I definitely think there's a spark with Lauren. And they were my words on my wedding day. And then we fast forward 3 weeks when Lauren and I are just friends, about to exit the experiment, and we're sitting there having dinner, and we're just having conversation. And the camera goes to my back, and then it's the audio comes across is, yeah, I definitely think there's a spark with Lauren.
Oh, right. The
And I was like,
context is
wait a
taken
minute.
out
So I
of-
went back through the episodes, and that was what I said on my wedding day. And
Yeah.
they've just thrown it in the last week. Because
Yeah,
then they
right.
create this narrative that I'm still into her, I'm still trying.
Oh, right.
So that sort of stuff's really tough to swallow when you watch it back and go, that's not what happened, and that's not what was going on. But people watching it go, oh, look at him. He's still trying to chase her. And it's like, you can tell she's not into him. And it's like, so that's really tough to watch back. The tough thing is with the producers, they don't. No, you're all right. No, you're okay.
No, you're all right, mate. You're all right, mate. No worries.
What happens with a lot of things, they might be like, they're encouraging you to say stuff. So it might be like,
Yeah, yeah.
with so today when you're out, what did you think about the fact that Lauren was really uptight and not okay with what you said? And you're like, oh, yeah, it was a bit weird that she was a bit off with me. And then they're like, can you just repeat that and say her name? And you're like, oh, Lauren was a bit off with me today. It's like,
Right.
all of a sudden there's this narrative, there's that story that's coming. You're like, what have I just said? I've just said what they wanted me to say in a way.
Yeah,
So in a
yeah.
roundabout way, they get you saying things that you kind of go, oh, I didn't really mean to say that, but I've
Yeah.
said it.
So glad you did it. I mean, you met your beautiful fiance, obviously. So
Definitely,
it's-
definitely glad, definitely glad to do it. Meeting Jackie, and
Yeah.
now we're engaged, so that's been huge.
Yeah.
Life changing. The rest of the stuff that comes with it is a challenge. Like, if I hadn't have met Jackie, ended up with her, I would have been just like, what have I done? Like, why have I put myself through that?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of trolling. There's a lot of
Yeah.
negativity and hate that comes off the back of it online only. In public, we get a lot of nice people come up to us, but online, yeah, it can take its toll at times. We've had some pretty dark days where it's like, it's just horrible. Like,
Yeah.
people coming at you about stuff they've seen, and because they've seen it based off what the production have put forward, like, they get angry about it.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Back on the golf. Where are you at in your golf at the moment? Are you a club member? You got a handicap, that sort of thing? How good are you? I'm going to take you out here shortly.
No, we've got to go play. I haven't played 18 since January.
Right.
So we've been getting out a little bit lately. We've had so much since the show went to air end of January to sort of April, May. There's just been so much distraction, and we've had to go to different events and things in Melbourne and Sydney. And so I haven't had time to really play much. And then the weather's been pretty awful here in Tassie through winter. So we're starting to get out a bit more. I've just signed with PXG, so that's definitely more motivation to play. And I'm doing more content online, so I'm just about to start up doing a lot of, more so getting into golf tutorials and information around beginner golf and coaching in that regard. So I think that's it's sort of been interesting to see what people are asking for over the last few months, and
Yeah.
being sort of a lot of the demographic from off the back of the show are people either looking to get into golf, or they just started, or their husband or boyfriend's playing, doesn't know what to do,
Yeah.
and they might not be able to afford lessons. So if there's some coaching and advice and stuff we can do online, which I've got a lot of knowledge there from coaching and playing and being in the industry, that it'd be great to do more of that and put it out there for people to be able to learn from.
Do you have any aspirations to play competitively again? How old are you now? 42 or something?
44.
44. So yeah.
Um,
So the senior champion, or the Masters, and all, not the Masters, but the Champions Tour is
Yeah,
potentially in your future.
Yeah, there's definitely like the future of maybe something like the Champions Tour or something like that. I think that's kind of, even in Australia and everywhere around the
Yeah.
world, all that's really evolved.
Yeah.
In the short term, who knows what I could potentially play once I start playing a bit more and being around that competitive space. Yeah, who knows? There might be some invites that I might be able to get something into some tournaments. So I know Jack at her way, she'd have me teeing up in some tournaments. She missed the whole time of me playing tournament
Yeah.
golf and being there. So it'd be pretty cool for us to go to tournaments and experience that
Yeah.
together
Brilliant.
now.
See your handicap and your the fact you're still at the PGA.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm still a PGA member, still
Yeah.
a member of the PGA of Australia.
Yeah.
Member at Riverside Golf Club. I've got a GA of plus 6.7, 5.7, 6.7. So
You'll have to play to that today.
No, definitely. So that was from last year when I was playing a bit.
Wow. Okay.
But still got it. Yeah, still
Yeah.
got my GA handicap. So, but don't really get a chance to play club comps much at the moment.
Okay.
So
And what do you want to do with your business? Do you still have
No,
import
I
export sort
sold-
of stuff, or?
sold out of the business 2023. Not sure. At the moment, I'm going to focus more on really working hard with more golf content on. I think that gets a really good reach through Instagram, TikTok. Really want to work hard at doing a lot more of that this year and just seeing where that goes. Jack's got an online jewelry business, so I work a lot in that. I spend a fair bit of my time through the day working on that together. We love.
I'll
the
give it a
e-com
plug.
side.
What's it called?
Jacqueline Lee Jewelry.
There you go.
Yeah. So I spend a fair bit of time back in there and just logistics and working on that with her. We love that, work on that together.
Yeah, nice.
So
And is there any more reality TV in your future, mate? MasterChef or that Holy Moly would have seemed a good fit.
I don't think you want Jackie and I on MasterChef. Maybe
No.
something like,
Home delivery chef or something. Or,
yeah, Uber Eats. No, something like Amazing Race would be good. We signed with Max Markson,
oh, yeah.
agent in Sydney. So
Yep.
we're potentially looking at something in the future.
Okay.
We're still kind of technically contracted under Endemol Shine with Channel 9 from Married at First Sight for a little while. So technically you can't go on any shows.
Yeah.
There was actually one, there was a New Zealand one that we're looking at, but they came back and said we're still in the period. So, but I think, yeah, who knows? We might be looking at something like that. So.
All right. Thanks, Clint. In the meantime, we'll get out here at Lost Farm and see if you can play the 6.2 plus. What are you going to shoot? What, 65 or something?
Maybe we should play for a bowl of red.
You're on. Beauty, mate.
Awesome.